So I'm just about to go into rehearsal, and on my drive down here, it occurred to me I have been having an emotionally, psychologically difficult time with this rehearsal process. It is brought up a lot of insecurity in me and my process, and the lack of stage time I've had in the past decade and a half. Before working on this play, I was starting to feel very, very confident in myself as an actor, and in general was like feeling like, oh, I can do whatever, I'm awesome. And then of course now I'm in rehearsals, just like every day in rehearsal feeling like I'm messing it up, and I don't know, I have bad instincts and all of these things. In a way, it feels like a step back mentally and emotionally for me as an actor, where I'm like, oh no, are we gonna live here? Oh God, I don't want to live here. About 3 weeks in now, I suddenly realized I have this tendency, I think, to see where I am in the process as an encapsulation of my process as a whole. And the reality of it is, I stepped into this process of rehearsal in a very tender space, because I had literally just had this conversation with my husband where I realized that I hadn't built for myself the kind of life that I wanted, in the sense of I hadn't committed to a profession where I felt like I could gain some kind of forward momentum. I hadn't stayed at the restaurant, I hadn't stayed at the nonprofit, I hadn't stayed in retail, I hadn't stayed anywhere, and I don't think any of those jobs were right for me, but I felt when I had this conversation, I could have been discovering something that would have been right for me, something that I could stay at for the rest of my life in between acting gigs or in between projects. Realized I wanted to get a job, and started applying to a bunch of places, got a job, and then got the play. So not only was I training for a new job and trying to get a certification, but I also then entered into this rehearsal process just in such an overall tender place of reflection about my life, reflection about my character, reflection about who I wanted to be and who I was being based on the life choices I had made. And so of course I'm struggling a little bit, and of course it's difficult, and of course it's hard, because I'm in a tender space doing something I haven't done in 12 years while also re-entering the workforce, which I haven't been a part of for 4 years. And on this drive down, it was like, adoy, I'm tender now. And that is, first of all, a lovely place to be. And second of all, whoa, the amount of grace I could be giving myself right now, it needs to increase. It needs to increase. So anyway, I'm gonna head in. I'm gonna see what waits for me in rehearsal tonight. And I'm not gonna judge my entire process based on a season. And I'm not gonna judge my entire process based on a moment. But I am gonna celebrate that I can still be in process when I'm in a very, very tender space.